This growth of an African-born multinational is truly a remarkable story and could not have been achieved but for the support of all our stakeholders. That includes the governments in these 70 countries that we participate in, but above all, for the early countries where we established our presence and our business. Nigeria, Ghana in particular, which was the first few countries that we entered as a global food and agribusiness. Olam Group is now undergoing a major transformation. We have reorganized our business into 3 distinct new operating entities. In Ghana, all these 3 new operating entities, Olam Group, the parent, Olam Agri, the business that we are all gathered here to celebrate one milestone, and OFI, Olam Food Ingredients, all of these 3 distinct new operating entities are all manifestation of the original Olam Group. And we are delighted to be present in all of these 3 entities in Ghana today. And all our businesses here are successful and growing, and we would like to thank all the government officials, the administration, the ministers, who have been very pro-business and focused on developing and profitably growing the economy of Ghana for all of its people. So thank you very much for that. Olam Agri's vision is to transform the global food, fiber, and agri systems to build a more sustainable and food secure future for all of us. As part of this mandate, we try and map where is the calorie demand for food consumption growing around the world. So today, we are focused on providing 6 aspects of food security in all the countries that we operate. First, we want to fulfill the growing demand of a growing population for the right kind of nutrition and the right kind of calories. 50% of the world's calories are in the form of grains and cereals. In Ghana, we are in wheat and wheat milling, and you're in a facility which is doing that wheat milling and pasta manufacturing. So we are providing all kinds of food raw materials, whether it's wheat, whether it's corn, whether it's barley, whether it's oil seeds like soybean, sunflower, rapeseed. And second thing that we are doing is to provide the feed requirements of a growing population. So we manufacture animal feed, poultry feed, we manufacture ruminant feed or cattle feed, we manufacture fish feed for the growing demand for protein. Fish, meat, eggs, protein demand. Protein demand accounts for 17% of our calorie consumption. So between cereals and protein, 67% of our calorie consumption, and Olam Agri is focused in providing food and in providing feed. Third, we provide sugar and sweeteners. And fourthly, we provide fuel. So we have sugar bioethanol manufacturing, which is to provide bioethanol for the fuel industry. We are in fiber, cotton production, so we provide clothing to our consumers. We provide mobility solutions because we are a very big player in rubber. We grow rubber around the world, one of the largest producers of rubber, so we provide for mobility solutions. We provide for shelter. We have the world's largest Forest Stewardship Council certified contiguous forest concessions, more than 2.6 million hectares, which is the largest in the world, and we provide shelter requirements. So we provide what we call all of life's daily essentials. We call it living essentials. You consume our products on a daily basis around the world, and millions of consumers, while they may not know Olam, have experienced an Olam product one way or the other during the course of the day, whether they are consuming food or feed or fiber or fuel or rubber or wood products, shelter products. So that is our business. And Ghana for us is an extremely important country, the second country that we entered after we entered Nigeria. And we believe that for the food security solution of this continent, there are 54 countries in Africa. Olam is present in 24 of these countries today. And we are only beginning, and we have to provide those food security solutions and feed solutions and fiber solutions to many more people around the world, including many more people around Africa. This expansion today and the celebration today of our first pasta manufacturing facility in Ghana is critical piece of the puzzle. And while we have started with 40,000 tons capacity, we have an intention to at least double the capacity in the near future, as we have done in wheat milling. We started the wheat milling operation, and we have expanded that capacity and expanded the capacity again. And we will do the same thing as far as pasta is concerned. We have been discussing with the Minister of Industries our plan to get into the protein requirements of Ghana. How can we get into poultry feed? How can we get into fish feed? As we are doing in Nigeria, we have large poultry feed operations, fish feed operations. Can we produce broiler feed and layer feed to meet the Ghanaian requirements for growth in egg production or growth in poultry meat, which is two of the cheapest forms of protein. We also want to get into fish production. So we are examining how we can use the advantages that Ghana brings as a hub to not only meet the food security requirements in Ghana, but to meet the food security requirements using Ghana as a hub for the neighboring countries. So we will engage, Your Excellency, with your administration to see how we can meet some of those requirements. The big challenge for us is how do we meet the growing demands of a growing population for food and feed and fiber and rubber and all of these products without destroying the planet. If you continue to produce food and feed and fiber the way we are used to producing that, we are going to definitely destroy the planet. So it is not only about producing more food, feed, and fiber, it is also about producing this sustainably from an environmental standpoint, from a carbon standpoint, from a nature biodiversity standpoint. And therefore, in order to do that, we have to solve for 6 big challenges that we are facing. We have to first solve for the food demand gap. Today, between the demand for food, which is 20,000 trillion calories per day to feed the current 8.3 billion population, we have got a 7,500 trillion calorie gap. So we have to produce 7,500 trillion calories more than the current base we have of 12,500 trillion calories of food production. So that's the first challenge we have. The second challenge that we have is to bridge the land gap. We need an additional 593 million hectares of land to grow and meet the growing demand for food. That is equivalent to the size of the whole of India. So every year, we have to grow and find land as much as the size of India today to meet the land gap. We have to meet the biodiversity gap. We are losing species at an alarming rate. So we are losing a million species we have lost already. And we have 9.5 million species around the world. If we continue to lose species at this alarming rate, we will not be able to produce the food and feed and fiber that we need. So we have to do it in a biodiversity sensitive way. We have to solve for the water gap. Agriculture accounts for 71% of the world's water requirements. And we are not going to be able to find more water. So we have to get more crop per drop of water. So what are the technologies that we can use? His Excellency was just mentioning to me just before I came on stage, the breakthroughs that Ghana has achieved in wheat production. That would be a miracle. If Ghana can lead the way in innovating and finding research breakthroughs that is suitable and well acclimatized as an effective solution for Ghana, that can be game-changing. So how do we invest more in research to find solutions that are appropriate for the context of Ghanaian farmers? So that is the fourth gap that we are trying to fill. The fifth gap that we are trying to fill is we want to prevent the loss of food that we produce at such great cost. We produce the food using about 14 gigatons of carbon emissions. We produce that food using 71% of the world's water requirements. And then it is a travesty of justice that we waste 33% of the food that we produce. So how can we in Ghana reduce the food loss and waste, which we take a lot of time, effort, and resources to produce, and how can we reduce that food loss and waste? And finally, we have to improve the livelihoods of the farmers who are producing our food. 71% of the world's smallholder farmers produce 40% of the world's food. And 95% of the world's smallholder farmers are below the minimum living wages. They do not earn a living wage. 55% of that farmers don't even earn a minimum economic wage, leave alone a living wage. A living wage is 3-4 times a minimum economic wage as defined by the World Bank. So when we are looking at our mandate and our vision and our mission is how do we produce more food, feed, and fiber without destroying the planet. And for Olam Agri, Ghana, both as an individual country and Ghana as a regional hub, given the foresight that the government and the ministers have to solve for this existential challenge, is where we want to work in partnership with the government and with the ecosystem, with the farmers in Ghana, with the communities that we serve, to produce food, feed, fiber, wood products, rubber, in a sustainable way without destroying the planet. I want to conclude by thanking all our stakeholders here, our partners, technical partners, and our other partners, many of whom are present in this room today, to work with us and work alongside us to fulfill this vision, to fulfill this mission. And we are in Ghana, we are in Nigeria, we are in Senegal, we are in Cameroon, but there are so many other countries that we want to do the same thing that we have achieved in these countries successfully. We cannot do it without all of you. So thank you for your support and thank you for your contribution. I want to thank all our suppliers in Ghana, the smallholder farmers and others that we source and originate from. I want to thank all. We have about 5.4 million farmers in Olam Agri's network. So we want to leverage that farmer supplier group to grow alongside us and grow with us. We want to thank all the customers. There are so many businesses that have set up in Ghana based on this facility, our wheat milling facility, our intended pasta manufacturing facility. Many businesses, many entrepreneurs have come to life and grown with all that we have done in partnership with them. So I want to thank all our customers. Above all, and most importantly, I want to thank our employees. Olam is a company of entrepreneurs. There is not one founder, me, in this company. We have roughly in Olam Agri 9,000 entrepreneurs. All of them have contributed in helping us build scale, profitability to global leadership in the businesses that we have chosen to participate. So on behalf of the leadership team and EXCO, Your Excellency, Honorable Ministers, and all our stakeholders, we intend to work in partnership with you to achieve a true revolution in food and agricultural systems in Ghana, and we look forward to your continuing support. And thank you for everything that you have done for us. Thank you all very much.